What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for another Tea Talk session pre recorded today. We are discussing the last episodes or latest episodes of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Married to Medicine, and Real Housewives of Potomac. Before we get into it, let's take care of a little bit of business. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is Reality Recap 2876. It's in the link in my bios on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. And follow me on those same platforms Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, which you see right here at the bottom of your screen, reality_recap for all the trending reality news. Hit those like buttons, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. And make sure you leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on these episodes as I give you my unsolicited thoughts. So, this is my little thumbnail that I made. I am becoming a Chat GPT girly. Also, wanted to let you guys know that I was featured on TMZ today, a very small segment talking about Rihanna's recent video that went viral of her security guard not holding the door for her when she came out, and everybody was saying the door hit her in her face. It didn't really hit her in the face, maybe in the shoulder. And the comment that she made towards the security guard, which I didn't think that it was malicious at all. It was more like sarcasm or a joke. She was like, "What some gentleman you are." I mean, if she really wanted to be so nasty, so rude, she could have just fired him or left him on the curb or hit him with the car door. So I didn't think it was that serious. I think she was more so making a sarcastic joke. But check that out, guys. It aired today on the 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for me episode of TMZ Live. So check that out. Support your girl. Thank you, TMZ, for having me. And hopefully you have me back again. I would be more than happy to do it. So we're going to start out with the hottest show right now, which is Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine is pulling in the top ratings, beating Potomac, beating Royal Housewives of Salt Lake City. And Quad was not shy about that on the recent episode of Watch What Happens Live. I actually loved how she clocked Giselle. If you guys don't know, I do believe I reported on it or gave you guys a snippet from the Reasonably Shady episode with Robin and Giselle, because at that time immediately the newbies started responding to the comments. But on the Reasonably Shady podcast, Robin and Giselle, even though on Watch What Happens Live Giselle said she didn't say anything, they talked about how Real Housewives of Atlanta was like recycling girls from other reality TV shows, i.e., K. Michelle, who was alleged to be on the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Also on Married to Medicine, Angel, who was a former castmate of Basketball Wives, is now on Married to Medicine. And they were talking about how we're recycling and reusing the girls and getting them from other shows. And Quad just quite politely chin checked Giselle and saying, you and my good Soro was over here talking about how we recycling, but women lie, men lie, but the numbers don't. And we are actually outperforming Potomac, Salt Lake City, all of the things, honey. And Giselle was like, "Well, I didn't say that. That was Robin. You need to take that up with her. We're two different people." But when you watch the clip, I posted it in my story as well. Giselle, she commented. She was the one that actually said, "Oh, we re-rinsing and recycling over there at Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Atlanta." So, yeah, Giselle, you did get checked. You got clocked. Quad slid that in there, nice and smooth. Caught her off guard. She was completely gagged, but also, I can't wait to see if Robin talks to her about that on the next episode of Reasonably Shady. Like, yo, you got in the bus, drove over me, and backed up and said it was all Robin, and that wasn't the case. I hope she even replay the clip for, for Giselle. But yeah, Watch What Happened Lives was good. It was good and shady. That post is running up numbers because I gave y'all the clip of what Qua had to say. If you haven't seen it, it's on my Instagram and Facebook pages, so check it out. But y'all are running them numbers up. So clearly, you thought Giselle was gagged as well. But on this episode of Married to Medicine, we know that Angel has a bone to pick with Toya. She said that at the beginning of the episode that, at the family reunion where Toya pretty much was telling Angel brought a friend, a guy friend, a male friend, someone that she says she's kind of dating or has dated in the past and trying to figure it out, whatever it is. she brought this young man to the family reunion, and Toya was like, "Oh, you are a man?" Because she was asking me to hook her up. Is you good in bed? Asking all these inappropriate questions that Toya does. Like, I love Toya. I love that she brings up the difficult conversations. She keeps it 100. But from a girl code perspective, you never want somebody to come up to somebody you bring to an event and you like, "Oh yeah, she was asking me to hook her up with other guys." Girl, no, 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 no. That wasn't how you were supposed to do that. Love you, Toya, but no, that was definitely not how you do it. Now, I would have loved for Angel to pull her to the side and say something then, but she waits till later in this episode to halfway address it. And that's also another issue that I had. I also felt like in the last episode, not the latest, but the one before that, I felt like Dr. Contessa kind of threw Simone under the bus and made her out to be this person that's investigating everybody. And, Heavenly apparently had went back and told that Simone was looking up the VIN number to the car that King gave Quad, the Rolls Royce. Um, Hate to break it to you, but a lot of people was looking up what's going on with King. He had a lot of lawsuits out there with these cars and his rental car business and, alleging that he didn't own them. All of the things were being said and being reported on, a lot of rumbling in the jungle. So hell, half the bloggers were looking up his VIN numbers or looking up these lawsuits and what was going on. So if she did look it up, oh well, I thought the proper way to address that was showing up in the Ferrari at the at the family reunion and just saying like, okay, you want to check that VIN number while I'm not driving that today. Check this VIN number. That was good enough. But Quad took it to the extreme later in the episode as well. We also got to see Dr. Heavenly starting her campaign run for House Representative. I'm not good with this politics stuff. I'm really not. I swear I try to be up on my current events, but it's just so many, which I think now she's not even running for the House. Is it House Senate, House Representative? I have no idea. Just House something she was running for. And now I think she's actually running for the Senate seat. But she decided to launch her campaign with Quad as her campaign manager, who has no experience in it. I know I heard Dr. Contessa mentioning that like all of her like political friends or acquaintances were kind of looking at this as a joke because she wasn't really using maybe a well-known campaign manager or someone that is in the business or could really lead the campaign. They were out in the parking lot across the street from the municipal building. It looked like with a tent over Heavenly while the rest of the crowd was out in the sun baking and sweating. And her speech, she started off, "Everybody come take a seat, get in the seat. I ain't gonna tell y'all no more." It just, I think she has great intentions, Dr. Heavenly. I think that she comes from humble beginnings and she's a smart businesswoman. I'm not saying that she cannot run. But if you want to be taken seriously, and I think that's what some of the women were trying to say, Toya, absolutely not. Her intentions were not pure by taking notes. But if you want to be taken seriously, you got to make sure that you have your ducks in a row. Everything is top notch. So starting off to a rough start. Again, like I said, Toya was taking notes. She sent text messages to Simone, who was late to the event, and then also kind of maybe made some shady comments. So Dr. Mimi inserted herself because Brandy came to the event and she was kind of hanging out with Toya or sitting next to Toya. And Dr. Mimi took it upon herself because she's not really feeling Toya after Toya's barbecue event and how she was yelling at the women. She really wasn't, she ain't really feeling her. They've had some interactions that have clearly rubbed Dr. Mimi the wrong way. And she's telling Brandy, like, "Oh, watch the company you keep," because she was just shading Dr. Heavenly while she was up there doing her campaign speech. And that's the type of person you want to be around. That's not none of your business. I hate when another grown woman want to tell another grown woman who she can be friends with and who should be in her circle. That ain't got nothing to do with you. And I'm my own individual person. I don't go doing what everybody else is doing just because I like that person's personality. But I was happy that Brandy stood up for herself. Like, why are you over here? Why are you telling me this? Like, I'm grown, girl. I just didn't understand why Dr. Mimi, after preaching how Toya is somewhat ruining the event or shading the event or being shady, you decided to take that moment at the same event to be shady and rude as well. But Brandy, she held her own. It actually was like at a point where they needed to be separated. And I thought they were cool. I thought they were getting along. We saw them when, Brandy had Dr. Mimi over and everything. They was I forgot who else was over that day, but they were having a good time. So I thought, the newbies were getting along, but now it seems like it's some beef there as well. And I'm here for it. I definitely feel like Married to Medicine, everyone is showing up, everyone's clocked in. And even the newbies, right? Like sometimes we get newbies, it don't all work out for all of them, or we're not interested in getting to know them and their stories until we see more of them and it makes you want to invest in them. But I feel like these newbies will be around for a minute. I feel like they're all clocked in and doing a good job in this season. They're really all being authentic, raw, and showing what's really going on in their lives, good, bad, and indifferent. I did a short video about it. I'm still pre-screening Married to Medicine, so I should be getting the newest episode by Thursday, and I'll give you guys, I always give you a no spoiler sneak peek or insight of my thoughts of the episode. But I really feel like this cast is doing an amazing job. They deserve the ratings to be the top show. They're really showing up this season. So I was surprised, honestly, to see a beef between two newbies. They're really getting a lot of screen time to be newbies. For us to see Angel have a full on event showcasing her medical scrubs, which are dope, by the way. Like, I'm not a nurse or a doctor, but I would love to wear those scrubs just on some comfy. They look, well made, quality, her theme, her venue. It was amazing. And I'm proud that as a newbie coming on, she's getting this much exposure for her business. That's big. It definitely is. Simone in this episode also sat down with Dr. Jackie, and she's contemplating a divorce. And that's what I'm saying when I say authentic, real, showing up. She's talking about it like she's kind of tired of being the bad guy or the bad cop between, some Cecil and herself and the boys. I think, she's financially the breadwinner. Cecil walked away from his corporate job and everything is falling on her shoulders and she's just getting tired of it. And then on top of that, he's dictating what she should and not have to pay or should pay for both of their sons' college on her own. That gets old real quick. And she's ready to retire. She's looking to move away from the OB part of her profession and only do gynecology work. And she's not looking to deliver babies anymore. She's taking a step back. And I think she's at an age now where it's like, this could go either way for me. I don't need to be in a marriage to be defined. And she seems to be truly contemplating leaving Cecil. And I get that Jackie and the other women, we saw this in the past reunion where she wanted to leave the marriage before and everybody rallied around them to stay together. But I'm really on the fence. I'm not going to force her to say, no, you got to stay together. It seems like she's made up her mind, if you ask me. And that's cool. Everybody doesn't need to be married to feel fulfilled. And that's absolutely okay for you to do whatever makes you happy, especially when you feel like you're in a place that you may have more years behind you than you do in front of you. You never know. You only get one life to live. So be happy in it. And I am for her figuring that out however she does so. I get Jack. I said, Jackie's like, no, we need to figure this out. You guys have to have fun again. They seem like they do have a good time. They laugh in their confessionals about even the hard conversations. I think they become more friends, but it's not giving husband, wife vibe. And that's cool. So I'm interested to see where she goes with this and with the relationship. So at the event I just was mentioning to you guys with Angel and her scrub line, her medical line, which again, amazing. It was like a futuristic theme. she came out with her light up sunglasses and her silver dress and everything like that. But I don't know why Simone took it upon herself to use that event to tell Dr. Heavenly that Toya had made notes about the campaign. I know it wasn't genuine for them to be like, oh, well, if you can't take this feedback, how are you going to debate? You know, Toya is just one person. Like, they had no good intentions, and you can't convince me otherwise. Dr. Heavenly didn't want to hear it. She walked off. She was trying to leave, and her campaign manager was like, no, 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 you can't leave. She tried to diffuse the situation, and they walked away. Now, how you the campaign manager trying to diffuse the situation, and you end up in a full-on screaming match with Simone at the end of the episode? It was so much going on. That's why I said this last episode was so explosive. You would have thought that this was like a season finale, and we're only midway through. The mid-season finale, mid-season trailer dropped before the episode came out. So we just had episode 7. You know, they're getting ready to go on a girls trip with all these fractures in the group. Contessa thinks it's a great time for a girl trip. You're absolutely right. Let's go argue in the sun and buy some water. But yeah, it was like so much going on. You have Dr. Heavenly upset with Toya and Simone for them trying to check her campaign. You have Dr. Heavenly yelling that don't be mad because, you know, my house is straight and my husband a doctor, is taking a dig at Simone because we know Cecil don't do nothing but make drinks in the basement, honey. But you know, she's taking digs at stuff that Simone confided in her about the fact that she told Quad about the VIN number. I don't even know why Simone told that to Heavenly, because she know Heavenly and Quad are close. So that might have been something she shouldn't have shared if she did look up the VIN number of the Rolls Royce. But, you know, for her to be yelling across the room things about her marriage that she's, you know, kind of confided in her with, or the group, in front of Cecil and the men, I didn't like that. So you have them yelling back and forth. You have Angel, who halfway confronts Toya about the whole family reunion guy and what Toya said in front of him. Angel's like, oh yeah, I don't do fake. We're gonna have to sit down and talk about it. And Toya's like, what is it that you're talking about? Like, if you didn't want to talk about it now, why did you bring it up? Exactly. Your event, if you don't want to talk about it at all, knowing Toya, you should have just left that alone. But, or like I said, it should have been addressed when it happened. The family reunion, you should have pulled her aside then, like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Stop trying to mess up my game. But for you to wait and then try to address it halfway and think you're going to decide with our good girl Toya when you going to discuss or scold her, good luck with that. I wish she would have just moved forward with it, or like I said, addressed it at the family reunion. Then you have Quad and Simone, and Quad trying to check Simone about, oh, you checking my VIN number? You worry about what's going on in your house, and you got Simone yelling, I'll check your credit because I ain't got all that debt. You living with debt. They were going real low, and I liked it because I like the drama, honey. It's such a good show. I just can't wait for this girls trip. There's nowhere to go but further down at this point. I know y'all thought I was gonna say go up. It's given, we're going further down into hell at this point. But yeah, like, everybody's clocked in, everybody's showing up. They're not running away from confrontation. The newbies are all involved in the confrontation. You know, Mimi trying to stand over there with the group, and Toya's like, why you over here with us? You know? I'm bad news. Remember, like, I heard you had something to say about what I did at the campaign run. She's like, I don't have to stand over here. Go on about your business then, Dr. Mimi. Yeah, I mean, I just love how everybody is showing up here. It was a great episode. And again, watch the mid-season trailer. I reposted it. It's on my page. It's on Facebook as well. Great mid-season trailer. There's still so much more to come. And this trip, I think, is going to be epic. And I can't wait for it. So make sure you tune in. Now let's move on over to Potomac. I really don't don't have too much to say about this episode except for I felt bad for Angel. In this episode, they took the trip from whatever mountain cliff they're in Colorado over to Aspen. And immediately when they got on the plane and Angel joined, got on the plane. She tried to apologize for the whole, no running water and the accommodations in the house that she had for the ladies. And they completely shut her down. You have Giselle yelling, too late, too late. You should have called when it happened. And Angel's saying, I'm sorry, you're right. I should have called, but I just went right into trying to fix it and reach out to the homeowners and make sure that it got corrected as soon as I knew I was right on it. Angel's trying her best. And to be honest, for these women to act like this trip is the most horrible when you just had a half-ass barbecue and a half rented facility while people was playing soccer and basketball on the other side of the ropes, and y'all was serving pot pies and Stacy's potato salad out of tin foil. You know what I mean? Like, give the girl a chance. And I'm surprised I'm saying that because y'all know I have not been shy about saying I don't care for Angel. And not that I don't like her or I'm going to be on her page trolling her or talking badly about her. Yes, I think she's a gorgeous woman, but was those pictures Facetune? They absolutely were. Own it. Do I think that she should bring the same energy in her confessionals, bring that shade, those smart, witty comments to when she's in an argument with them instead of crying and backing down? Yes, because they are hazing you and you're failing miserably. But I just didn't, I thought it was too much and it went too far. They literally spent the entire episode beating up on Angel. They ain't got water. Giselle's talking, she taking over the trip. She's taking the girls to the Four Seasons and they're leaving the house that Angel had for them. They fly in, they get to the restaurant. Oh, you ain't got no beer, you ain't got no tequila here, as if she was supposed to call ahead to all the restaurants and find out who had tequila and beer for Ashley and Giselle. It's like, come on, y'all. Y'all purposely looking like y'all trying to give her a hard time. And I just didn't think that was right. She put you on a private jet. She took you over there. I mean, Ashley, you was just in Dave and Buster's with your man Josh or whatever his name is, worried about how he don't have enough to treat you like you used to, your little old sugar daddy's treating you. So if you could go to Dave and Buster, what's the problem with you getting on this PJ and not having tequila at one restaurant? Like, chill. I just thought they did extremely too much. And I do think the party at Angel's house was good. I told you, I think she has a gorgeous home. She did a tour of it. I forgot what site she did the tour of the home with, but we got to see more of it in that party. She had stations set up with, specialty cocktails, great place settings, good food. Everybody ate well. There was one blip with the water. She can't control that. She tried to work on it, move on, but they're just harping on it. And I feel like they're beating a dead horse at this point. I also don't know what Monique had me saying the entire time. Who said that? I felt like Portia watching Potomac. Monique is really trying to project onto Angel that Angel's in this marriage with this superstar husband, that she's doing everything and juggling everything and it's coming out differently in her friend groups. Like, no, Bobby doesn't give me Chris vibes. Nor is Chris the reason why you beat on Candace, Monique. Like, stop it. Those were your own things you had going on from a long time ago. Girl, you a Jersey girl. Atlantic City at that, honey. You did not whoop on Candace because Chris pushed you to the edge. Like, I'm not buying that narrative at all. I'm not. And I don't. Angel is very supported in her relationship. Did you see how Bobby came out there and got her out the rain and left the other two to fend for themselves? He's protective of her. He was on Watch What Happens Live with her. He's very supportive. I think she has a great marriage from what I've seen so far. He takes care of the kids. And yeah, when you're in a marriage, you're not just going to get up and spend the night out and not talk about that with your husband. And she probably didn't want to do it. She said she didn't. And kids and a husband is a great excuse to use when you don't want to do something sometimes. And she was leaning on that. So I would, and that's part of what I say about Angel. Just stand on that. Like, nah, I'll come to your thing, but I'm gonna get my Uber and get up out there in the middle of the night. I don't care how dark it is. I don't want to stay the whole night with y'all. And that's just that. But again, they are really harping on Angel. At the end of the episode, Giselle is basically announcing how she's taking over the trip. They're going to do the 4 seasons of brunch and then go home. When Angel's like, no, I have more things planned. We have an excursion. She's trying to do her like wonderless. I said wonderless, wonderlust business trail excursion to kind of showcase her business, and Giselle's trying to leave. So we'll see how that ends, if Angel will actually spend the night at the little, girls' night sleepover situation or what. But for the first time, I can say I actually felt bad for Angel in this episode. They just definitely did way too much. Too much. And last, I will talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This season, I'm hanging on by a thread, y'all. While I'm enjoying Rachel Zoe, I think she's a great addition here. Nobody really has anything much going on, and Amanda is insufferable. I cannot deal. Um, when Dana came on talking about her $25,000 sunglasses, did you hear? Did you see? That was funny. But the way that she wants to one up and top and talk and talk and talk. And then when she asked for, what was it, ceremonial matcha, I had to look up and see what the hell does that even means. And it says ceremonial grade matcha is considered a high quality top tier matcha. I was like Rachel's on, like, does it mean it's prayed over or something? Is it like halal or something like that? I really didn't understand that part of it all. It's too much. And I will tell you this though, I didn't mind her bringing up Ivy. I didn't mind her bringing up Ivy. Hell, I reached out to Ivy in DMs. I know it was a long shot. But I reached out to Ivy to see if he wanted to come do an interview. He ain't respond. I'm sure his DMs is flooded watching this. But I tell you what, okay, Sudden Strike, we're not going to talk about everybody else's business, and we want to know what's going on with Kyle and wanting to know what's going on with Erica and Todd and I'm sorry, not Todd, and Tom Girardi and all of that legal stuff, and what's going on with Dorit and PK, and you think you ain't going to talk about Avi? Oh no, you going to talk about is this. You don't have anything else to talk about. You should be glad that something happened with you and Avi, so you have something to talk about. Because if you think I care about your ex-husband that ain't been your husband, and I don't even know how long, taking back your last name, or you buying a horse, I'm good off that. I'm good. So you're gonna have to talk about Avi. Everybody else have to talk about their business. I expect the same from Sutton. And that's it. That's all. So she could be mad that Amanda brought it up, but you're gonna have to talk about it. Or I don't see where it's going with Sutton at this point. Like, you're trying to get yourself back into the group because you don't have Garcelle here to be your muscle. So you're trying to change your image. You don't want us to, you want us to think you're not drinking because of the whole blow up you had with Dorit last season. Now you're coming in not drinking, trying to mend fences, but you don't want to talk about Avi. And then not too much on my girl Jennifer Tilly. I don't like how she's snapping at her. And even watching the after show and watching how Jennifer was like stuttering over her words, or kind of like brought back to the situation when she walked away when something snapped at her at the table over this whole Avi thing, and she hadn't even, well, I don't even know what she was going to say. She just was like, well, I think so, could have been talking about something totally different, and someone was like, could you just stop? And Jennifer got up from the table and she said under her breath, see, this is why Garcelle left, because it's always, has to be about Sutton. And she was kind of on the after show apologizing and saying, listen, I don't know where it came from. We know where it came from. You're frustrated. She keeps playing you. but your wallet big, Jennifer Tilly. You know, she told Dory pick on somebody that wallet fit. Okay, well, Jennifer's fit. So stop picking on her. And I want, Jennifer seems like a really nice person, but I want to see that side of her too. Check her. Check it if you need to, Tilly, because I already done told you I'd rather see Jennifer Tilly with a diamond than Sutton. She's not bringing anything to the table for me. None of them really are. Rachel Zoe is being upfront talking about her divorce. She clearly hates her estranged husband. Not even sure if he's her ex-husband at this point. She's trying to have a hot girl summer, and this cast is Dorit is being transparent because they told her she was going to lose her diamond and be demoted allegedly if she didn't talk about the stuff with PK and Dorit. But it's one-sided. We don't know. She wants Kyle and Mo to be middlemen, and it's like, okay. It kind of reminds me of Lisa on Real Housewives of Miami when she was going through her divorce. She kept talking about her husband over and over and over and over and over again. What else is going on? Dorit, what else is going on? This season is off to a really slow start. I told you guys I heard some really, not from any credible sources, that they were looking to maybe cancel Beverly Hills. I don't believe that, but that was something that was being said. There's also rumors that because of one caption that what's the girl name from Orange County? How is her name escaping me right now? I really just drew a blank. Not Emily. But they were saying that she might be moving to Beverly Hills. Why can't I think of this woman's name right now? Y'all know the doctor. Heather. Why couldn't I think of that? Oh my God, complete brain fart. But it's been some rumors that off a caption that she made with a diamond that she may be looking to move to Beverly Hills. It's all hearsay at this point. But this isn't like Married to Medicine. This cast needs another shakeup. Amanda ain't it. I told you guys I feel like sometimes they just bring one person on to be the villain on Beverly Hills. We saw that with Camille. We saw that with Diana, that they know it's not going to go well, and they use them as like the villain of the season, and it's not going well for Amanda. I don't expect her to be back. I need more. I need more. I'm a little disappointed, but I'm still holding on. I'm still watching. So y'all tell me what y'all think of the season as well. All right. But those are my thoughts on Beverly Hills, Married to Medicine, and Potomac. I will be back later in this week. Set your alerts to give you my thoughts on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Let's have a catch up on the Valley Persian style, which I'm actually enjoying. And I never gave you guys my thoughts on the mid-season finale of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'll talk about that briefly. And don't forget Saturdays, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recapping Love During Lockup, which just premiered this past Friday. And episode 2 will be out this coming Friday. So I will recap that on Saturdays. Every Saturday, Love During Lockup gets its own episode because it's such a great show and so much drama. So yes, before I get out of here again, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reality Recap 2876. Like this video, share, and subscribe so you get all my recaps live and pre-recorded. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, what you see here at the bottom, reality_recap, for all the trending reality news. Now, as I always say before I end my shows, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Have a great evening. Check me out on TMZ. Peace.